Hey guys, Dylan here with the Random Firearm, and I have another product review video for you. Now, I know it's been a while since I posted a video last, and I apologize for that. And the reason is my schedule's been kind of a little bit like this. Well, that didn't work as planned. Yeah, so that's why. But I have a product review video for you. A compensated roto barrel sent to me by SARCO Inc. So let's take a closer look at that and see what it's all about. So this roto compensated barrel from SARCO Inc. is all one piece. Now, that may be debatable because what I heard is these are actually individual pieces that have been soldered on, which could affect long-term reliability, but I have nothing to compare that to, so I'm just gonna ignore that. But this is all one piece, meaning this is not a threaded barrel, which is why you can see the barrel bushing is on it right here. Now what's good about this is you can get this set up for under $100. A normal threaded barrel is gonna cost you probably over $200, and then you gotta get the compensator on top of that. Like I said, this is under $100. Now, fit and finish is not spectacular. You can see a lot of machine marks. The finish on it itself isn't really that great, but again, for under $100 and something that you're just gonna put rounds through at the range, not something that's too terrible. This barrel does not come with a barrel link pin or a barrel link, so you'll have to get that separately. And if you've never done that before and you don't have the proper tools, also kind of a bitch to get in. So I'd recommend taking that to a gunsmith. All right, so that's what it looks like. Now let's go to the range and shoot the thing. All right guys, so I'm back at my favorite range, East Orange Shooting Sports, and I've brought with me my Taurus PT 1911. And this is what I'm gonna be using to put through all the tests. As you can see, it's stock, I haven't done anything to it. And we're gonna be shooting some Winchester White Box 230 grain 45 ACP. Now I'm gonna do two types of tests, an accuracy test and a muzzle flip test. Now when I shoot my 1911, I shoot low left. I don't know why, I do. There's probably some science behind it, but I typically shoot low left. So we're gonna see 5 rounds, how accurate the standard barrel is with 5 rounds and me shooting at 20 feet. And we're also gonna do 3 rounds using this camera right here, so that way we can test the muzzle flip to see how many degrees of rise we're getting with the regular barrel versus the compensated barrel. So let's get on with the test and see what we can see. All right guys, so now 5 rounds of 230 grain 45 ACP out of the standard barrel of the PT 1911. Let's see how that performs at 20 feet. All right, as you can see, it's an okay grouping, and everything is shooting consistently low left. So let's move on to the compensated barrel and see if there's any difference. All right, so we're gonna install the compensated barrel. Now let me explain a little bit about compensated barrels for those of you who don't understand how a compensated barrel actually works. Basically, when you have a standard barrel, all the gas is gonna force out of the front of the barrel. Now, when you're holding your firearm and all the gas escapes to the front, by the way, this is completely unloaded, the barrel's not even in it. All the gas is gonna escape from the front of the firearm, and when the slide moves back, this pivot point that is your wrist is gonna bend backwards as well, causing the recoil to move up. When you have a compensated barrel on the front of it, all the gases are going to be, again, out of the front of the barrel, but also vented out of the top through these little vents right here. Now, physics states that every action is an equal opposite reaction, so as these gases are forced up, pressure is also exerted downward on the barrel. Therefore, when the slide moves back, and that pivot point is pushing the gases down, the pivot point of your wrist is not gonna, theoretically, move as much. All right, finally, got it all together. There you go, compensated 1911. So, let's do the 3-round muzzle flip test, and then let's move on to the 5-round accuracy test. And again, these are my absolute first shots with doing this, so it may shock me how it feels. We'll find out. I've never fired a compensated handgun before, so I'm very curious to see what this under $100 piece could actually do for your 1911. All right, here we go. 3 rounds, same ammunition. Let's check this muzzle flip. Well, I really didn't notice anything too terribly different, but let's go for the 5-round accuracy test and see if there is a difference. All right, so last time I was shooting, I was actually aiming for the bullseye, and as you can see, it was low left all 5 rounds. This time, I'm gonna aim for the upper 9, just so I have a different point of aim at least. And let's see where these 5 rounds of 230 grain will actually go. Well, that's actually a little surprising. I had 1 round fly off to the left 8. Not quite sure what happened on that. I might have flinched or whatever. But instead of shooting low left, I now just shoot left. So that's interesting. I'm actually going to take a few more shots because I found that quite interesting. So I'm going to load up 5 more rounds and let's shoot again. I'm liking this thing. Fit and finish may not be the best, but if it's increasing my personal accuracy with 1911 like that, that'll work. All right, guys, 3 more rounds, 230 grain ACP, 20 feet out of the compensated 1911 roto barrel from SARCO Inc. Let's see what we could do. Well, honestly, with all the other hits on the paper, I'm not quite sure where the first one was. Second one, dead center, right where I was aiming. Last one was a little bit left. Pretty decent for somebody who doesn't shoot a 1911. This is my first handgun I ever purchased, but I don't shoot it too much because 45 ACP is actually quite expensive. But I'm liking that bullseye. 3 more rounds. I have 3 more rounds. Yeah, so how many times have you said like, oh, 1 more time or whatever? Well, anyway, we got 3 more rounds loaded up. What I'm actually going to do is try something different. I experimented one time with a Smith & Wesson MP9. I fired with 1 hand, and I actually seemed to be a little bit more accurate with 1 hand. So I'm going to try the compensated 1911, 3 rounds, right hand, which is my dominant hand, and let's see how that goes. Okay, again, I shot better with 1 hand. Who knows? All right, so final thoughts on the barrel from SARCO Inc., the compensated 1-piece 1911 roto barrel. It works. It will help improve your aim if you're 1911. The muzzle flip and recoil, I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna have to go to the video to figure that one out. It does feel probably maybe a little bit more comfortable to shoot. Obviously, you could see it made a difference, especially when I fired with 1 hand. It's kind of annoying to get in the 1911 until you get used to actually how to get it in. Because when I was messing around with it, by the way, this is unloaded. Well, can't really see, but I'm not gonna mess around with a loaded firearm. Once you get used to it, it'll probably be a little bit easier to get in. Like I said, fit and finish, nothing spectacular at all. But if you're just gonna go to the range and play with it, I don't see any reason to not invest in something that you can get under $100 that's gonna cost a couple hundred elsewhere. All right, guys, so there you have it. There's the barrel. I wanna thank SARCO Inc. for sending me this. I wanna thank East Orange Shooting Sports for once again allowing me to use their range. If you want to read more information about this barrel, head on over to therandomfirearm.com, link in the description. To make sure you don't miss any of the videos, make sure you click that subscribe button. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter for some exclusive content. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.